Why money feels worth less every year. If it feels like money doesn't go as far as it used to, you're not imagining it. The same amount of money that once covered rent, food, transport, and savings now barely makes it through the month. Even people earning more than they did a few years ago often feel poorer. And while inflation is usually blamed, that explanation only scratches the surface. Because what's really happening is not just that prices are rising, it's that money itself is quietly changing. Most people think of money as something stable, a unit of value, a reliable measure. But money is not fixed. It is shaped by the system that creates it, manages it, and distributes it. And over time, that system has changed in ways that make money feel weaker, even when numbers go up. To understand why money feels worth less every year, we need to look at how modern money actually works. In the past, money was tied to physical limits: gold, silver, tangible assets. There was a natural constraint on how much could exist. Creating more money required effort, resources, and time. This placed limits on expansion. Modern money works differently. Today, money is created primarily through credit. When banks issue loans, new money enters the economy. When governments run deficits, money supply expands. When central banks intervene, liquidity increases. Money is no longer scarce in the traditional sense. It is elastic. This flexibility allows economies to grow, respond to crises, and avoid collapse. But it also has consequences. When more money exists, each unit represents a smaller share of the overall system. Over time, this reduces purchasing power. Prices adjust upward, not because goods suddenly became more valuable, but because money became more abundant. This process is gradual. It often goes unnoticed at first. A small price increase here, a higher bill there. But over years and decades, the effect compounds. What once felt affordable no longer does. Another reason money feels weaker is how it enters the economy. New money does not arrive evenly. It flows first to financial institutions, governments, and asset markets. Banks, investors, and large corporations receive it early. They use it to buy assets, invest, and expand. By the time that money reaches wages and everyday spending, prices have already adjusted. This creates a gap. Asset prices rise faster than incomes. Housing, stocks, and land become more expensive. Those who already own assets benefit, those who rely on wages fall behind. This is why people often feel like they are chasing a moving target. No matter how much they save, the goalposts keep shifting. Money also feels weaker because of expectations. Once prices rise, they rarely fall back. Businesses adjust pricing strategies. Governments adjust budgets. Workers adjust lifestyles. The new price becomes the baseline. Even when inflation slows, the higher level remains. This creates a sense of permanent loss. Money does not recover its old value. It simply stabilizes at a lower one. Technology adds another layer. Digital payments, subscriptions, and frictionless spending have changed how money feels. Transactions are instant, spending is abstract. The physical connection between money and effort has weakened. This makes it easier to spend and harder to perceive loss. At the same time, many costs that were once one-time purchases have become recurring expenses. Subscriptions replace ownership. Monthly fees replace upfront costs. This drains money continuously rather than occasionally. The result is a steady outflow that feels invisible but accumulates over time. Wages struggle to keep up with this environment. Salary increases are periodic. Costs are constant. When prices rise gradually across many categories, it becomes difficult for income adjustments to compensate. Even modest inflation can erode purchasing power faster than wages can respond. This creates a persistent feeling of falling behind, even without dramatic economic events. Governments face a difficult trade-off. Allow money supply to expand, and purchasing power declines. Restrict money supply, and economic activity slows. Jobs are lost. Debt becomes harder to manage. Financial instability increases. Most systems choose expansion, not because it is perfect, but because it is the least disruptive option available. This means that slow erosion of money's value is not a mistake. It is a feature of how modern economies remain stable. For individuals, this can feel deeply unsettling. People are taught to save, to plan, to be responsible. Yet, doing everything right still feels insufficient. This disconnect creates frustration and confusion, but understanding what is happening provides clarity. Money feels worth less every year, not because you are failing, but because the system is designed to trade long-term stability for short-term flexibility. Inflation, credit expansion, and asset growth are tools used to manage complexity, not to preserve purchasing power. This does not mean money is meaningless. It still functions. It still facilitates exchange. But it does mean that holding money without understanding how it behaves comes with risks. Recognizing this reality does not require panic. It requires awareness, because once you understand that money is not static, you can make better decisions about how you earn, save, and plan. You can stop expecting money to behave the way it once did and start adapting to the system as it is. Money feels worth less every year because its role has changed. It is no longer a store of value by default. It is a tool, one that must be managed, not trusted blindly. And understanding that difference is one of the most important steps toward navigating the modern economy.